A hacker named Guccifer was able to, a little over, I believe, a month ago, hack into the former President Bush's email. And among other things, one of the things that he was able to recover from that was a series of photographs detailing Bush's hobby, which is painting. And so we've got some pretty awesome and fun pictures to show you. So
I kind of like that one.
But he signs at 43.
Exactly.
Yikes. That's not bad.
Yeah, you can see a little bit of brush down there at the bottom.
Okay, hold on, stop for a second. Is it true that it's really not that bad, or is it because we have low expectations because it's Bush?
I think that we have low expectations, but look, also, I can't paint, but I also would not say that that's an awesome painting. Not to down on him, I'm just realistic. Look, when I do my hobbies, I don't sell them. I'm not making any money off of them because they're shitty. Like when I write
not
stuff.
bad. I mean, it's what you would expect. I think from I don't know about that one.
That's better than I can do.
That's right.
Easily.
You know, and we're not talking though about your capabilities. We're talking about where it stands in the spectrum of art. And I would say that this.
Look at its tail. It's so low down.
Yeah, sort of a high school art competition. That's not bad either. It's no Matisse. We know that. But
and as you're seeing these, bear in mind he didn't like put these in an art show. He wasn't saying
these
I'm
are just
awesome.
Personal, right?
These were stolen from him actually by a hacker. We're just enjoying them. That's interesting.
Still needs to work on his perspective,
Yeah.
but you know, it's those are not easy choices that he's made. So he's an ambitious painter. I wish he would have been more thoughtful in perhaps his policies and stuff.
Yeah, you got to occasionally, do the fruit.
Yeah, perspective is
Natural
still
stuff.
It's not Picasso either. But
We're being so nice to him. Some of these are really shitty.
Yeah. Well, it's amateur painting is very.
Here's he is summing up 40% of his time as president.
But
let's move on. So here you see more dogs. That's actually really cute. I believe that is Corgi.
Yeah, that's cute.
You see the nesting dolls in the background.
I
and
know.
Jesus.
I'm more interested in what's going on in the background
Probably
there.
a president from one of his state trips, I would imagine. More fruit. I had been led to believe that more of these were dogs. Apparently he has painted over 50 dogs.
Wow.
Which is pretty amazing. Like, now what I'm
Is that
worried
a dog
though.
in jail in front of the
No, that's a dog protester being kept far away from the actual
He's chained
holds
himself
of power.
to the front of the fence for dogs' rights.
He threw his medals over it. There you see the man himself.
He looks so proud.
Look, if I made that painting, I would be proud too.
Yeah.
Now, these are dogs in a lot of cases. Anna, is this swaying you towards being in favor of the former president?
So I have a huge soft spot in my heart for dogs. The only 2 times where I cried on the show, it was because of a dog-related story. So the fact that he likes dogs makes me realize that we have one thing in common. That doesn't change my mind in terms of like his presidency and what an utter disaster he was.
Okay, what if it turned out he also didn't like bacon?
All right, then you know what? He wins. Best president ever.
Do you miss me yet? Yeah, kind of. No.
The one thing I do miss his speeches. Who doesn't miss his speeches?
I miss absolutely nothing about him, and it would be awesome if that whole section of time had never happened.
Yeah.
That's, unfortunately, we can't go back. When you build that time machine, we got some work to do.
Yeah.
So.
I think that it humanizes him a little bit. And not in a way that makes me think better of him. Is that it's hard to you need to forget that he was president and realize that he was a man in that position making absolutely horrible decisions that led to the deaths of possibly hundreds of thousands of people. And he can paint these dogs, and they can be posted on the internet even if it's against his wishes perhaps. But bear in mind that this guy who now is he's making money for the rest of his life, giving speeches for $100,000. But he killed so many people.
Yeah.
And notice he's not making any paintings of dead Iraqis there.
No, and when you look at the legacy of other former presidents, we've got Clinton going out, we've got Carter going out, Bush 1 going out, around the world doing humanitarian work, trying to make the people's lives better. And Bush has holed up in his home in Dallas, and we never see him, never talk to him. And I think that's probably a wise choice on his part, but it does show the difference in the personality of the person that was actually president for 8 years of the most powerful country in the world.
Yeah.
Well, if anything, I also feel like this makes me feel that much more that he's just kind of a rube, that he was the the figurehead. Obviously he's still totally responsible for everything that was done in his name, but in some ways I almost feel like the hatred that gets directed at him is he's a very convenient shield for the people that were running the show behind him. And this just sort of seems like it speaks to that it's like, this guy is, I mean, he's no genius.
Yep.
Yeah, that hatred should be amplified for Cheney.
Yeah. I wonder what Cheney paints when he paints.
People shot in the head. I don't know.
Enhanced interrogation.
People being waterboarded.
Like literally, it's not 50 dogs. It's 50 politicians being shot in the head by Dick Cheney. He's just fantasizing every day. My final point on this: I know that people complain, "Why do you always reference Always Sunny in Philadelphia on the show?" But the hobby of painting dogs is literally what the mostly mentally handicapped character Charlie Kelly does, and they look about as good as Bush's. Like that's supposed to show that he's crazy as he keeps painting dogs, and that's what a former president does.